friends, come on in and make yourselves comfortable as we dive into our explainer today. You know, I might be an old soul from a very quiet corner of the world, but I gotta tell you, my heart still absolutely leaps at the wonders of modern life. Today, we're gonna explore a story that's kinda like a heartfelt romantic documentary. It's a modern tale of connection that just goes to show the human heart, it really doesn't care about borders. So let's jump right into this beautiful story we're calling Bridging the Distance, a Digital Romance.
Let me ask you something. How far would you travel to find your paradise? Seriously, think about it. Would you cross a river? Hike over a mountain? Sail across an entire ocean? I want you to hold on to that thought as we journey together today. We're looking at a story about love across what seemed like literally impossible distances. And the wild part? This love didn't need a ship or an airplane to get started. Just a tiny spark and a screen.
Now, every great tale has a humble beginning, right? Once, a handsome and cute boy lived in a small, quiet village. Picture it, a place where the days just kind of drift by slowly, where everybody knows everybody's name, and the world just feels small, safe. He had this wonderful innocence about him, totally grounded in the earth and the simple, everyday rhythms of rural life. But you know how it is with young folks. Bright eyes, eager minds. Those village borders just couldn't contain his curiosity forever. And sure enough, his path took a pretty remarkable turn. He moved to the big town for his higher study. Then, one fateful night, he visited a buddy of his, a real techie friend who was completely hooked on social networks. And bam, that is where he was introduced to Facebook. Just imagine that moment for him. It wasn't just a website. It was like a magic doorway, a glowing portal opening up to this vast, loud, and incredibly bustling digital universe he never even knew existed.
Honestly, this leap was absolutely massive for him. Think about his rural origins. He had never really met a wide variety of friends because his world was just so contained. But suddenly, he's thrust into town life and this crazy new digital world. He had this intense, burning desire to learn, and before he knew it, he was making lots and lots of friends online. He's getting super busy on the platform, and this new digital landscape is just rapidly bridging his cultural divide. He was literally expanding his horizons with every single click.
And then, the universe stepped in. Right in the middle of this huge flurry of new connections, an unexpected friend request pops up from abroad. And guess who it was? An American girl living in the towering, bustling, concrete jungle of New York City. Just like that, the whole vast world shrank right down to the size of a glowing computer screen. Two completely different lives from two completely different worlds suddenly linked by this invisible digital thread. Isn't that just wild? So they started talking. And very quickly, they became incredibly good friends. But this boy's heart, it was growing bolder by the day. After some time, with that quiet, unstoppable courage of someone who knows exactly what they want in life, he sent her a message. He typed, "I would like to get you as my life partner. Will you be mine forever?" Wow. What an incredibly brave, direct question to send all the way across the ocean. That right there is the pure, unfiltered voice of a young man falling deeply in love. Now, how do you think the girl from New York responded to this young man from a quiet, faraway village? Just imagine her joyous surprise as she typed back, "What are you saying? I can't believe that. I love you too." I mean, wow. With those few little words, that initial spark turned into an absolute roaring flame. That moment marks the beautiful beginning of their ocean-wide romance. And remember, this wasn't built on holding hands or physical proximity. It was built on a deep, resonant meeting of two souls right there in the digital ether.
Okay, so how on earth did they keep this love alive? Well, they didn't just stick to typing words on a screen. They actually looked into each other's eyes. The boy told her, and I quote, "You have no idea how much my heart races to see you, and I love when I catch you looking at me on video calling." Through the absolute modern magic of video chat, the reality of their story unfolded face to face. Even though they were separated by thousands of miles, he could clearly see the warmth in her smile, and she could see the absolute devotion right there in his eyes. And the girl, who was just as swept up in this beautiful connection, replied with something so profound. She said, "Your voice is my favorite sound, and every day with you is a wonderful addition to my life's journey." Just take a second to think about how powerful that is. Her favorite sound wasn't the bustling, energetic streets of New York City. No, it was the voice of a boy from a distant village, carried across underwater cables and satellites straight into her heart.
She actually followed that up with this absolutely breathtaking declaration, "You're my paradise, and I'd happily get stranded on you for a lifetime." Now, remember that question I asked you at the very beginning of our explainer today? How far would you travel to find your paradise? Well, for this young woman, paradise wasn't some geographical location on a map. Paradise was a person. Paradise was the incredible connection she found staring back at her through that glowing screen.
And the young man, his heart just completely overflowing at this point, simply told her, "Just when I think that it is impossible to love you any more than I already do, you prove me wrong." I just love that. It beautifully captures the completely boundless nature of human affection. It's this ever-growing realization that love simply knows no limits. And honestly, it sets up what I think is his most profound realization about this massive world he was just beginning to discover.
And here it is, the ultimate epiphany. He said to her, "I thought you were far from me, and now I know everything is possible in the world." From a quiet village boy who barely knew what was outside his own town, to a young man who truly understood that technology had made the impossible, well, entirely possible, he realized that distance, it's really just an illusion when two hearts are determined to bridge the gap.
You know, if this old storyteller had to put a name to what we've witnessed today, I'd call it digital romance. It's when a screen becomes a window to paradise, bridging oceans and cultures through technology. We hear all the time that technology drives us apart, right? But this story brilliantly shows how, in the right hands, it can weave us together in ways our ancestors could literally never have dreamed of. It allowed a village boy and a city girl to build a bridge of light and sound completely across the world.
So as we bring our explainer to a close today, I want to leave you with one final thought. If screens can bridge oceans, what impossible distances can you bridge today? Maybe it's a distance between you and a loved one, or maybe it's the distance between you and a dream you always thought was just a bit too far away. Remember the boy from the village. Remember that everything is possible in the world. Thank you so much for sitting by the fire with me today and letting this beautiful story guide us. Until next time, take care.
Welcome.